Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, I'm going to do a series of videos. This is specifically dealing with the sexualization of little girls with just dolls. Because it's in videos, it's in TV programs, movies, and all those other things. And it's increasing the pedophilia, and it's making people more sick, and they're doing sick acts to small girls. And it's starting here with dolls alone. So let me start here. Psychologist Christia Brown of the University of Kentucky, she did a study she said about for 1 year, 80,000 portrayals of sexuality for young girls that they imbibe from just, corner marketing on little kids, especially little girls, right? So just to make them look sexy, make them look hot, yes, little girls, I'm talking about little girls snatching their innocence, these lascivious people, same kind of styles as this, Harvey Weinsteins and Epsteins and all of this, and their ilk, and all those people who support them, their sicknesses start at a very young age. So just look at this girl here, hair extensions, huh? Why would a little girl like this, who is supposed to be playing in trees and outside and bicycle and reading, writing, math, she's now being objectified by having hair extensions, by having a spray tan, by having fake teeth, by having an outfit like a stripper, fake eyelashes. She's not Tammy Faye Baker of the 80s, you understand? And having a caked on makeup. It's just totally ludicrous to make them look like this, because this is feeding into the sicknesses of sick men, right? So you have little girls who are objectified. Look at these faces. These are supposed to be normal little girls playing with their friends and so on, so riding bicycles and doing the normal things and keeping their innocence. So but now, yes, everything goes, consensual sex is allowed, and they have their body and 100 fluid characters going in and out, whatever you want to be, because they want to keep making money. They just want to objectify us, just like Duracell batteries, and just plug us in and plug us out and throw us out. So we as people just have some decency. I'm not even talking religiosity, just some decency. We have to shun this. We can't take profit over our generations. It's just not going to happen, and I'm just wanting to alert you to that. Look at these babies, as I showed you. So Dr. Brown, what she said, that girls who had fashion Barbies were less motivated to do anything and had fewer goals because they just couldn't live up to the expectations that they wanted to, right? Versus kids or girls who played with potato heads. They had many goals because potato heads is just neutral. Put the nose on, put the feet on, and you just play just a natural kind of playing, versus the Barbies, so they have to have body shape and size and all of those things. So body image issues were actually noted in these girls, and they were sexualized. So their mind were actually thinking towards these kind of objects in order for them to be portrayed in a sexual way. So promoting aggression in boys in videos and TVs and movies and all those things, and then harassment of these girls, because the boys, what are they thinking if you're going to feed them garbage? They asked for it. This is what they kept, all these rapists and so on and so forth, these scums of the earth, when you talk, they asked for it because that's how they were doing it. No, that's how it starts, and in middle school, and you go on, and then you get tapped for rape and sexual assault when you get into college, because the problem has been there a long time, and they're starting them off very, very young, at age 4, age 3, 5, 6. This is extreme sickness that we have to actually stop. Now look at these, look at this Bratz dolls, okay? Made by some guy named, I think his name was Bryant, last name was Bryant if I'm right. And it was discontinued in 2016. And girls and women actually wanted to look like Bratz dolls. So obviously they had them when they were young, and then they wanted to actually look like them. So they know, psychologists also know that, and these sick marketers also know that in order to make money and to have this industry actually thrive, just like the movie industry, Hollywood and all of these things, were now sexual abuse and Me Too movements and all this, because they're sexualizing young girls from just when they're just there. You got to be totally sick in order for you to do that to little babies, right? So I have girls myself and I have boys also. So I can see in both that, girls tend to do girlish thing, boys. So this is how it is. But now they're just blurring the whole line and making them into just commodification of their souls. So you can see that the Bratz dolls, how sick, warped. You can see the size of the lips and the eyes and so on and so forth. It's amazing. In a racist society, now you want big lips. So you have small lips, so shove in Botox, more money, have bigger lips. And the ones who have big lips, they be called big lips. You see, I don't understand. We have racism rampant and then people go out tanning. It's just a madness that we're living in. People should be just happy with what God has given them and stop pointing fingers. Say, if you're white, you're black, that's it. You've been given a color from the Almighty, and anybody who believes in the Almighty should not be able to discriminate against any kind of skin color. So then you have poopsie, right? Poopsie. This is another thing. I think there's something more insidious to poopsie than just poopsie itself, right? And I'm not going to go into that, but you can just see you can just at least see the exterior for what it is, but something that's inside that, about pooping and about all of those things, and it's a real sick thing, and it's even difficult for me to speak on a platform like this about it. But there's something much sinister with this poopsie, as you can see how they're dancing, right, with little diapers and nappies, and this thing actually unicorn poops, and kids play with the poop and where it's pooping from. It's shaped, heart shaped. It's a real sick, bendy, twisty kind of thing. And again, sexualizing little kids, you see, because they look little and they look like little kids, and the dance and all of those things. Again, sexualization. So make them more these lascivious men who actually want to do that, right? Then you have the troll dolls, right? Troll dolls. The newest one that had a big outcry was that, in the private part of the doll itself, when you press it, it actually giggles and says a few things, and something like that. It's really sickening. Like, why would you put a button in a private part? You can put it on the hand, you can put it on the shoulder, you can put it on the forehead, you can put it on the belly button, anywhere. But you have to put it in the private part so that, there's something insidious, because it's not only by coincidence all the time, right? And it all started with this Barbie, right? Many decades ago, Barbie. And Barbie is the one who actually brought all of these things, because Barbie set the trend, and the skinny waistline and the big bust and all of these things. And no human being can actually look like that. But that's what they made our girls aspire to, right? Now you have the best-selling doll in Britain. This small little, it's called cutie, big eyes. It's a little tiny little thing. But they say when you put it in water, because it's called LOL surprise, right? When you put it in water, what the parents found, that they had lingerie on there. Just imagine look at this. I have lingerie. Who would want to put like a stripper kind of lingerie on a small baby's toy? Why would you do that? What kind of surprise is that? I mean, just to say, oh, it's just coincidence that some sick man is sitting there doing that? That's exactly what they did to women's fashion. Some sicko over there is dictating to women all over the world what they should wear, how low their cleavage should be, how far their skirt should be. It's all sickness of these Weinsteins and Epstein, their ilks, right? These sickos that they always try to do that. So you dip them in water and you have lingerie. So now, the Muslim world, I have to put this in there because I'm Muslim. They had this doll named Fulla, right? So this doll, was covered and had the hijab on and so on and so forth. And in Tunisia, this creep Ben Ali, who passed away, and thank God the Almighty rid us of him, he actually went into stores he went into stores, okay? So you can see the power of what a doll can do to these dictators, right? He went into the stores and he took store loads of this fulla and banned it in his country because he didn't want girls aspiring to cover themselves. Now somebody say, yeah, cover subjection and depression and oppression and subjugation and all of those things. But when women want to cover themselves, like the mother of Jesus was covered totally even in her depiction. So how can Christians even actually now say that covering is something that is bad? Human beings cover. By nature we cover. When we're uncovered we want to cover ourselves. That's just by human nature. So leave aside that argument. But this dictator went into stores, took all the dolls away, made it a crime to have a doll in his own country that was covered, you see. So now, and then he got booted out from his country and went to Saudi Arabia, where he saw everybody, at least at that time, was covered. Now it's a new thing. Anyway, we'll get away from politics. So let's look at this. Negative stereotype, that's what it gives you. Low self-esteem with these kind of dolls, because this is what the girls are having. They've done studies. They've found that the girls are actually facing that. They face depression and anger and rejection because they can't live with the idea, this is the doll I'm playing with. Somebody say it's only a doll. No, but it's actually much deeper than that. Now it's in commercials and you got to be like that. You got to look like that. You got to have that body type. It gives them anxiety, even to the extent that one of the psychologists said that it gives you PTSD, right? Post-traumatic stress syndrome. So anxiety, it gives the anxiety, the post-traumatic stress syndrome. That's what the psychologist said. Eating disorders, self-harm, suicidal thoughts, substance abuse. You just name it. All these sicknesses actually from these sick men who actually, now look at this guy standing with these two girls. You know, they must be 6 or 7 years old, little babies. And look how he had them dressed and he feels so happy. LOL, surprise, right? That's why they become sick after a while, because not all body types are like that. And they're trying to make it like that because of their sicknesses and their sick fantasies. Look at the cost of Barbie, right? Barbie Dream House, $469 for plastic, right? So it's big money making, and it's also shaping the society to make them younger and younger and more sexualized so that there can be a big market. The $100.3 billion just in the US in 1 year was the profit from pornographic industry that was actually stated on top. God knows what is underneath. That's only the tip of the iceberg. $100.3 billion profit. That's absolutely mind-blowing. The Bratz doll that was discontinued, Snow Kiss doll, $51.62. Bratz doll again that was discontinued, Wild West Yasmin doll, $88.99, right? So brothers and sisters, give the children their innocence. For God's sake, give the children their innocence. Stop sexualizing every darn thing there is. And if anybody says anything against it, you say, oh, he is not modern. He should live in the caves and he should live in the... Maybe we should all live in the caves if we're going to humiliate our generations like this and objectify them and sexualize them and make them sick and self-harm and all of this. This nonsense about anybody that says anything against harassment of kids like this, to leave them to have their innocence. And then all of a sudden you have to be under attack because somebody in the industry doesn't like me touching their pockets, right? Literally their financial pocket, because they want to touch everybody else's pocket pervertedly, right? So here we go. Kids over profits. That's what I'm telling you. Kids over profits. Stop these stupid dolls. You don't have to go to the dollar store, buy just a regular doll. This is okay to play with dolls. Stop sexualizing the dolls. Get rid of these sexual dolls. We don't need these kind of dolls, and we don't have to pay $90 and $400 for plastic. Just go pay $2 or $1 and get a doll and let them play, let them run, and let them do the natural things that they have to do. And then we need a better society for all of us. So I give you this message because this is something much sinister in there. And that's how they actually always catch you, because as soon as you say something, oh, you're against our liberty. There's no such thing as liberty while you are trampling on the rights of small innocent kids, and they can't tell them that they have to give them, the kids will now give their consent to be sexualized. They don't know anything. That's why you have parents and guardians. Thank God there's still some laws, but they're trying to erode them at a very fast rate, right? So it's a big, big topic. Brothers and sisters, inshallah, take care of yourselves. I know it's a long video, but it needs attention. I understand that we live in a McDonald's kind of style. Give it to me in 2 minutes. My eyes should pop out, my head should pop and come back in, do all these things. I can't do that, but this is a serious message. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you khair, and may we have a better society for all of us. Thank you, take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.